Okay.
All right, folks. We have another episode here, and we have a person in our midst. And this person is James. He's a friend. He's a friend of mine, friend of the show. And if you don't know already, he did all sorts of amazing stuff and is doing all sorts of amazing stuff. You recently started a new studio, right? And a new community
Yep.
and all that stuff. So why don't you just, kind of introduce yourself, tell people what you do?
Alrighty. So, my name is James Nguyen. I'm a concept designer, and at this point in time, everyone knows that I just opened a studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the creative director of the studio as well. And alongside with the studio, as you mentioned earlier, I just opened a community. And at this point in time, it is still a community project, and it is an initiation from our studio. The point is to help concept artists and designers in the field to engage in discussions that are tougher to handle.
Mm-hmm.
We go way beyond the technicality of the craft. Uh, and yeah, all these things are coming along in tandem. It's a lot, even for me, but it's always exciting to see people responding to these initiatives in great light.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and once again, thank you so much for inviting me onto the show.
Dude, we've been trying to do this for like a while now, and I keep getting sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep getting sick, and we postpone it. So I'm really glad that you have the time to do this together. But yeah,
Oh, for sure,
yeah,
for sure.
with the community thing, you do it with Timothy, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Because so like the way it started off, it's actually very in tandem with what the industry's been going on, like how it's been going on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think almost everyone in the concept art field uh, can feel this the incident in well, not an incident but a phenomenon in which uh,
Mm.
throughout this year there's been a lot of layoffs
Yeah.
and people are posting online everywhere like these available for work
Oh
posters
yeah, yeah. There's a lot
uh,
of that. A lot
like
of
like
that.
like yeah, like from students to junior to even seniors.
Yeah.
So and it took me by surprise, especially with the senior part, because I couldn't imagine that. Oh, like at first I couldn't really imagine that. Oh, like even seniors don't get hired these days. Like what's going on? And
Yeah.
and after a bit of thoughts, after a bit of thinking and trying to research, I realized that you know the majority of the things that is talked about in the concept art industry
Mm-hmm.
is the technical aspect of it. Everyone talks about like what software they use,
Yeah.
how they do certain things to create this kind of lighting, this kind of texture,
Mm-hmm.
etc., etc. So everything
Mm-hmm.
is about the visual part, right?
Yeah.
It's the technicality of the craft,
Yeah.
but
What kid dashes
barely
that,
any.
bro? Yeah. Sorry,
Oh,
continue. Yeah.
yes, yes, that's yeah, and that's exactly what's been going on, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone is like, okay, what kit bash do you use? Like where you get that smoke, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
get me the sauce
Yeah.
and all that.
Have you ever thought about it that I probably made it myself?
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, and like with all these kinds of content going out there, and of course there are a few there are quite few pieces of information on the business aspect, on the financial aspect of the industry, like how do we even get hired?
Mm-hmm.
Like where do you get the money to hire us, right? These
Yeah.
kind of questions kind of go extending beyond our realm of concern most of the time
Yeah.
until this point in time,
Mm-hmm.
I believe. Honestly, it should have been taken care of much earlier in everyone's career, but it is
Yeah.
not the case.
Yeah.
And so now the one of the missions that the community that I'm constructing with team uh, uh, is to help people acknowledge that there are these other aspects of the career
Mm-hmm.
that can make you feel fulfilling, but you gotta do the work, right?
Yeah,
Like
you
like
gotta
of
do the
course
work.
not
Yeah.
just technical work, yeah, but you gotta do your research. You gotta know what kind of business you are,
Mm-hmm.
because let's say the majority of the artists in the industry that I know of are freelancers and
Mm-hmm.
contractors. So you better know what kind of business you're on. Are you a one-man business? Do you want to establish a company for yourself, just
Mm-hmm.
for yourself? Do you want to to get together with a bunch of friends to open a studio?
Yeah.
What sort of thing are you? Right? Like you got to figure that out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you
That's
figure out,
interesting. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's interesting
yeah,
because many people don't realize that if you're a freelancer, then you'll or a contractor, effectively what you're doing is running a business, right?
yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's fun to play with Legos, but in the end of the day, you gotta put that Lego back in the box. That's the boring part, and everybody gotta do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and uh, and I think like that hopefully with the community getting together in the format that is being presented, people can see that there's the great values to obtain from this space, not just in the information front,
Mm-hmm.
but the way we, because like like the people talking about, oh, maybe the people do gatekeeping, so we artists don't know shit, but sometimes we don't even go out there to figure out ourselves.
Yeah.
So, uh, like with this community, like first off, we do a very deliberate filtering system,
Mm-hmm.
in which the people who are in the community will be the ones who are serious about what they do,
Mm-hmm.
who are passionate about what they do, and they want to engage in objective, constructive, critical thinking process.
Mm-hmm.
They want to discuss and they want to help each other out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So and they want to be informatively aware of what's going on
Mm-hmm.
in the industry. So with all these criteria, we construct an application form
Oh yeah. Where can people apply?
yeah, sure. I'm gonna send you a link
Okay.
to
Yeah.
that.
We'll put it.
Uh,
Yeah.
alrighty. And yeah, so with that application
Mm.
compared to the CV and the portfolio, we can see how far you how far you are in to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And with this community, like we can bring in students and junior for sure, as long as they got a industry ready portfolio, they got their CV straight and honest,
Mm-hmm.
and they can tell us what they are, who they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah, like we will have multiple levels of people in the industry, um, so long as they want to engage with everyone,
Yeah.
and yeah, hopefully everything is will be in motion the way it intends to be. We are, by the way, we are going to have a beta test phase coming real soon. So I'm gonna bring like a bunch of people in, gonna send out a bunch of emails to artists of all levels, and ask them to join. The beta test phase will probably gonna last about 2 to 3 months. See how things going.
Oh shit.
um yeah,
Oh shit.
and yeah, it's, and and I can tell you that like this is going to be like huge, because this time around, on the information front, right,
Mm-hmm.
everything goes through the community. There will be people there who distill things into actionable points.
Yeah.
So everything that you guys discussed, talked about, will be put into a documentation,
Mm-hmm.
so that anyone that is part of the community can access it.
Mm-hmm.
They can learn from it. And then they can see the gradual update over time, to catch up with everything and everyone. One of the toughest things that I have to deal with right now is actually trying to get data analysts and financial advisors and business advisors to come in
Okay.
and work with us. So basically, like they can look into our industry and
Mm.
give us constructive advice on that front.
So you're even reaching way beyond the pool, not only artists. That's interesting. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Of course, we don't. directly everyone will not directly interact with these professionals,
Mm-hmm.
but I will work with them really closely to construct the right kind of facility for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, it's gonna take a bit of time, but I know for a fact that it's worth it. So we'll see what's up. And you may have heard people talking about, knowledge is power,
Yeah.
but there's no point of having this knowledge if you don't understand what it means,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
better have someone who can decode these
Yeah.
things.
It's like being
Uh,
Avatar without the training, right? Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yeah. By the way, that's the Nickelodeon Avatar, not the blue Avatar.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
The
for
real,
sure,
the
for
real,
sure.
the
Like
real, the real Avatar.
yeah, I've got my childhood pack with that, so
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
all good.
Watching that every Sunday when I was 12. That's interesting though, because you see, what was I gonna talk about? Oh yeah, you see, usually we as an artist we are a pretty tight knit community, right? We're super tight knit, and
Yeah.
we tend to think art as just art, and it's normal. We are artists, right? We can, but I think you kind of having this initiative to start a community to share things that are not artistic is more needed than ever, because especially now when you can just open ArtStation randomly and you'll find a really good tutorial to teach you technical stuff like that. That's a lot, Len. There's not
Hmm.
not a lot of things talking about this side of the business, and kind of what people say colloquially like it's the dark side, right? Is sometimes, yeah, right, the
Yeah,
side that's
it's
not lit.
heinous,
Yeah,
it's dry,
yeah,
it's
it's dry.
bland.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. You're also, yeah, again, starting a studio. You also did have an initiative in Vietnam too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So more than a year ago, a bunch of friends of mine and I just opened a local community
Mm-hmm.
for designers
Mm-hmm.
in general. The idea is that we're gonna talk about three things, which are mindset, technical skills, and business. And every weekend, like every Sunday afternoon, we'll come together to a random coffee shop in Vietnam and just sit just sit around into like this small circle and just talking about random topics throughout those three aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it's been great having that experience because I get to meet plenty of interesting individuals. Not the most let's say not the most popular individuals in the industry here in Vietnam, but people from all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And they just saw our post on Facebook like, hey, we have this event, just come around, and people just come in over time.
Nice.
And yeah, it's an it's it's a super meaningful opportunity for all of us in that community to get to see what's out there, what's been going on in here,
Mm-hmm.
and what we can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah, like we've worked with plenty of different formats. Like the most consistent one is an offline is the offline event every Sunday. Other than that, we try different sort of content, from carousel content
Mm-hmm.
to video content. Try to see what clicks with people, and yeah. So far, it's still running. I only got the thing is that I only promised with everyone that I would dedicate with to work on this with you guys for 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
We'll explore and discover everything, and after that, I'll be slightly less involved, but hopefully we'll build enough of a basis for the
Mm-hmm.
community to thrive, right?
Mm-hmm. Like you build
Uh,
momentum for it to just go. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's and that that sort of initiative was actually something that that pushed me towards something bigger and more relevant
Mm-hmm.
to us all as concept artists and designers.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know for a fact that I have enough reach to push that,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's why I do it. That's also one of the reasons why I do it now,
Mm-hmm.
because it seems like it makes sense. I have something to offer. Everyone has something to offer, but everyone needs to know everyone somehow, and everyone needs to know everyone on what level of thinking as well.
Mm-hmm.
So with all these criteria, um, I decided to construct the Artefact Community,
Mm-hmm.
which was the community that we just mentioned. Um, yeah, and this whole idea about community building is stemmed from me not having a community when I started out
I
as a
see.
as an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I still remember like a point in time when I was trying to think through like, hey, like I know I want to do digital painting and whatever, but I don't know what kind of career I'm going
Mm-hmm.
through. I'm gonna go with. So what I did was that I went to YouTube, I went to Google, I searched up every single keyword I can have in my mind. Then to reach somewhere, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, concept art, okay, like this is interesting, let's dig into that. And then I got to find Mark Brunet on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and then I found Feng Zhu, I found
Oh yeah, that guy is amazing. Yeah.
yeah, I found Bobby Chu, I
Mm-hmm.
found all these kind of like of people who talk about what I do. But
Mm-hmm.
with all this effort, I still don't have friends.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't have friends who do what I want to do. So what I decided to do back then was that I will find Mark Brunet, I will find Bobby Chiu, I will find all these people that I can find on Google and YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I search up their name on Facebook, I add friend them, and then I go into their friend list
Mm-hmm.
and I check out who are the concept artists in there, and then I'll just add friend those
Okay.
people. And I did that with so many people throughout the years. I
Mm-hmm.
still do it now sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how and that's how people start knowing me, just because I add friend people, and once I post something, like people would just see me like popping up, like, hey, this guy's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then other than just that, like I also like we just email people and just text people like, hey, your work is amazing, how you do this, how you get this and that. Some people will feel annoyed about it, but most
Oh,
people are very supportive
really?
in the honestly though, the spirit is being supportive.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But let's say that if you are higher up in the hierarchy, like you're
Mm.
so senior level, you're like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Ryan Church, or you are you're Amy K, right? Like you will get
yeah.
like tons of email, like even Rafael Lacoste, right? Like as soon as you text them, like, hey, I'm a huge fan of your work, like they just not reply,
Yeah.
because they get that all the time, right?
It's
It's
too
annoying.
much.
Yeah,
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 it's
I
too much.
know, I know. Yeah, but then again, there will be times
Mm.
when you text them with something more human,
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, how do you like I because this is just like a fart in the wind for Machi Kuchera, but there was this time when he got onto Lightbox uh Lightbox Expo. It was during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and everyone was doing like the online event, and I saw him being like he got these like black saggy eyes, and he
Yeah.
looks just like so darn tired.
Yeah, he's
And,
one
and I
of
just texted
us.
him.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, he's
One
definitely
of
one of
us.
us. Yeah, and I just texted him like, hey dude, like I saw you on Livebox, like looks so darn tired. You alright? And he's like, oh yeah, like thanks for asking. I'm all good. Just a lot of work. You know, sometimes those kind of moments will
Mm.
go bring people together.
Dude, that man,
Um,
that man. I was on a project, uh,
yeah.
and he was on it too, right? And usually when we work on films, there's usually this weekly deck update, right? And I saw
Mhm.
the deck and I saw his name. Oh, it's Mache. Let me see what Mache is doing, right? I thought that he's probably like at the high level now. He's probably just there at the top, just looking down at us, right? But then I looked down and holy shit, he's got even better, right? How can you do this? Like he doesn't stop. It's insane.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Like
He just don't
I
post too much about it anymore, but it's fuck, man. Yeah. At that point, I
yeah.
look at that and I was like, yeah, should I work on this? Like, I'm not feel. I don't feel like I should work on this if it's on
Yeah,
this. Yeah.
like the whole like imposter syndrome
Yeah.
tsunami just come over you,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah. But then
it's
I gotta
insane.
remember I is Chase, so I'm fine probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in any case, yeah, lots of texting, lots of emailing people.
Yeah.
I even I think texted you or emailed you once,
Mhm.
like, hey,
Mhm.
like do you have some time to review my portfolio? Like I'm willing to pay for your time to yeah, and I do that with a lot with a lot
Mhm.
of people in the industry.
Mhm.
So of course you get all sorts of feedback, some just not giving you feedback at all.
Yeah.
Uh, but you know, all this momentum allowed me to have friends over time, online friends. Like
Mhm.
I started realizing that, oh, okay, so there are people out here to do the same things that I do,
Mhm.
and then slowly people start inviting me into Discords because I text with some people more than others. So I got into different Discord groups,
It's
trying to be
it's
supportive
it's
and all.
it's almost like being nice pays off, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. But yeah, it's all these things that now that I look back, it's all these things that we can do, but sometimes when we start off, we are afraid of so many things that we don't even know what we are afraid of.
Yeah.
That hinder us from getting what we
Mhm.
want and what we need.
Yeah, well, I have this friend back at school where his work is pretty cool, right? But he never posted on any social media and asked, and basically, obviously, got no attention or job or notoriety, right? And
Mm,
the thing about being artist is you got to get some of that. And I asked him, why did you post, man? Like, why? Okay, and the reason was he was really afraid that people would shit on it, so he didn't post it. And I was like, God damn it, dude! Like, you're losing so many things, and I think what really helps with that is if you feel like you're not confident enough to do something. That for me, what works is just realizing that people doesn't give a shit, right? People aren't gonna like
right.
if you're doing something like what you're doing, right? You're starting community. People aren't like sitting 2 hours in front of the computer, fucking James starting this fucking thing again. No, people aren't gonna care. People are just gonna click. Oh, cool, James doing something. Let's scroll down. Let's a cat meme, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
right.
So
Exactly.
in a way that's harder for us to grab attention, but in a way that's a blessing too because you
Mm,
get room for doing stuff now. You don't have to worry about.
yeah,
And even if they shit on you, like who fucking cares, dude? Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like if
yeah.
Rafael
Unless
Alcal's
it's the
like
president, yeah,
shit on my work, then that's something
yeah,
else.
yeah.
But
Unless it's fucking
but
fucking Obama or somebody. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
right. Um,
Let me be
but
clear.
yeah, like dude, you got the accent, man. uh, like I think over time you just I guess people will develop thick skin one
Mhm.
way or the other,
Yeah.
or else you won't survive here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in because like back in the days I was more engaged in other online communities within Vietnam,
Mhm.
and I think it's about 4 or 5 years back. Most of them were like they will they will shit on you first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like they will shit on you first, and then maybe like, but it's cool
Yeah.
later down like down the line, right?
You gotta
Um,
prove it first.
so
They're like your parents. You gotta prove it first.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. And I think it's best for people to like if they start off and they feel as if they get shit on by some sort of people, they
Mhm.
just check those people out, right? Like
Mhm.
if someone just shit on you, let's just check out, check
Mhm.
just check it out. And like you don't have no work. You just shit on people.
Yeah.
You're just an online personality that that's out of nowhere. I don't need to give a shit about you. So yeah, like
Yeah.
it happens,
Yeah.
but you move on, you get better.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, it's all right if you wanna shit on it, right? But when you shit on it, offer alternatives, right? Just don't shit on it. Like if you're shitting on somebody, like who is he starting a school? He doesn't even know anything. Well, start it then. You know so much, right? And it's
Yeah.
it's it's not like an insult or something. I'm really genuinely started if you know better, right?
Mm,
Like
right.
yeah, for by all means shit on it. Like, but come on, like just don't just shit on it. If you think something can be improved, you got the time, the
Mm,
means, then do it. Don't just shit on it. Like shit talk, but do it, but do the job. Like it's you're like playing Dota. You're so good, but you're shit talking. Like that's I feel like a good
mm.
compromise. At least you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
I,
Yeah, interesting.
mm. I was trying to bring up this prime example
Mm-hmm.
of someone who got shit on all the time, but was super successful was actually Picasso, right? If you show a Picasso painting to anyone,
Mm-hmm.
right from get go, the like for a average Joes and Janes, right? Like
Yeah.
they'll be like, the fuck is this? Like I have no idea what this is. Like just
Yeah.
get it away from me.
Yeah.
Go, like whatever,
Yeah. I
Picasso,
can I
whatever.
I can fucking do
Right?
this, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? But they didn't know that, like Picasso like mastered to the degree of a Renaissance painter when he was like 16,
Yeah.
17.
He was really good.
And at this yeah, and he pivoted himself to other prospects. And what on like this is also something that I wanted to bring up earlier when we talk about the community is that the power of Picasso also lies on the way he network.
Mm.
Like like earlier in his career, like he was telling, like he was hiring, he was paying university students to go to all the galleries and painting shops, like just decorative painting shops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he hired these students to ask people, "Do you have a Picasso piece here?"
Interesting.
And he did that, and these students built up the momentum that he had back then, and he became famous
Dude, a fucking
slowly,
startup CEO.
gradually.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like later down the line when he
Yeah.
was super popular, he made sure that he had the richest kind of friends he can get around here,
Mm.
right? Like he made friends with all these rich people because like if you want your paintings get exposed out there and got into the hands of the highest bidders to the extent that you can get rich too,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta do that.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can make sure that your connections are tight.
Yeah. It's his market.
You
Yeah.
have the influence, yeah. And so, but like this story tells me about networking, business mindset, and trying to be who you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if you want to be who you are and then you get praised by that, you better have a strategy for it.
Mm-hmm.
So with Picasso, he has business, he has networking. Things worked out great for him. He was successful when he was alive, unlike Van Gogh, right? Like
Yeah.
Van
So
Gogh
so
just
so is Andy
yeah
Warhol. I think Andy Warhol got a lot of famous friends. Yeah.
yeah exactly.
Yeah.
And Andy Warhol was like this is like a lame joke, but Andy Warhol's works at initial look feels like feels like AI art of
Yeah.
the history. like
AI out
like
of
like
history.
like he just took bits and pieces everywhere and
Yeah.
put together into his
Yeah.
painings, right?
Yeah.
So
Hey, that's a
so
cool soup can. Let's do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And he has a sense of humor to him too, which people appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with his I recall he got his signature on this disc to on a satellite that people sent out there into space.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say if an alien get it, like it was have an instruction of things. And he got to sign
Oh shit.
onto that plate.
Oh, that
But
golden plate, that small. Oh
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And his signature looks like a dick.
yeah. God damn it,
Right?
fucking
So
guy.
yeah, like he got a great sense of humor on him. Um, in any case, yeah. Again, back to networking.
Mm-hmm.
It's networking,
Mm-hmm.
right? Make sure that you know your people. You know who buy your things. You know who sell your things. You know who distribute your things. You know who
Mm-hmm.
can be your friends.
Mm-hmm.
Who can be your allies. Who who are your potential enemies if you have any,
Yeah.
and how can they be friends
Mm-hmm.
later down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Like you gotta see all these things. Like if you look about, if you look into our industry and through that perspective, it's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's at least for me, it enriches me to to try to engage people with different mindset, with a more opening mindset, while while being constructive about it. I'm kind of person who was quite methodical in many respects. I like to plan.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have planners, I have schedules, like all these things just stacked up to back me up. And so even with connecting with people, I try to go through that process as well.
Cool. Yeah, dude. I think I definitely get that vibe from you. You're very analytical. You're very, you know, very opposite of me. I think. I don't. I
Mm,
like. I plan, but I only got bullet points, and I just basically do jazz after. Like, just fucking do it. And it's not like I don't want to do it. I tried it. I can't. And yeah, I think if it works for you, then fuck it, man. I think planning is making you really effective, and the time that it took away from me for not being able to plan, and I'm still trying to kind of plan stuff right now. I have kind of
mm,
journals and everything like that, but it's better, but it's not going great. But I always find myself working better when I'm in a kind of manic mode, so to speak. It's not manic like insane, but
yeah,
yeah.
it's almost like a flow state,
Yeah, like
right?
a flow
Like you
state.
thought.
Yeah, I get into
Mm,
that easier without plans, but when I plan, the day got smoother. But it's just harder to get into the flow state. Flow state. So, yeah, I'm curious
yeah,
what you think about that. Like, how you go, how do you can kind of, because artists
yeah,
usually are a very kind of chaotic person, right?
yeah.
Usually, but how do you do that?
Um, I
Like,
I
walk
think
us through your
like
day, for example. Yeah,
okay, sure.
yeah.
So, like with everything that's been going on, so I actually got a planner here.
See, that's
So
insane. Yeah, I
it's
don't have it. Yeah.
yeah, it's a yearly planner. Like it will show you there will be like it will divide itself up into
Mm-hmm.
days, weeks, months,
Mm-hmm.
years, right? And so I just fill it up. And so let's say when I start my week,
Mm-hmm.
the night before that, I will try to look into the planner and write things down,
Okay.
and write things that I need to do that I can think of at that point, right? That's crucial for the week. And
Mm-hmm.
once I get back to work, I will start filling more points into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Start planning things out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you want to see like 2 months beforehand, you can see like how many days there are. Just write things down, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you and then you even if you hate it, like at least for me, like I kind of brute force through it
Mm-hmm.
just a bit. Like the planner is a method that I had to push myself into it,
Mm-hmm.
because earlier I'll do the same thing as you, just writing down like bullet points, right,
Mm-hmm.
day by day.
Mm-hmm.
At most I'll have like a weekly bullet point
Mm-hmm.
list. uh, but later down the line, I can expand myself, and just work my way through with the planner.
Mm-hmm.
If I walk around, I'm just gonna hold a planner with me.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will be like, "Hey, a calendar on your phone is maybe easier, maybe easily accessible." But at least for me, I know that when I write things down, I start remembering better.
Yeah.
Like like like
Versus just
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
thumbs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 It's like somehow my writing just helped me keep all the memories up
Mm-hmm.
pretty tightly.
Mm-hmm.
My photographic memory is okay, but the action that I write things down help me remember stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
There's a connection
so yeah,
there.
like
Yeah.
yep. So that's why
Mm-hmm.
there is a physical planner book.
Yeah.
Um, and like on a more of a yearly perspectives, every 3 or 4 months I will have this period of time called
Mm-hmm.
like re-evaluation
Mm-hmm.
period, in which I will write a bit more. I would do a bit more journaling with myself. I'll sit down with everything cleared. I'll sit down and I'll just write out, okay, how I've been doing these days,
Yeah.
how much time I spent on these things, what are the habits that I have done that are not good and should be fixed. And I do that like every 3 to 4 months. And it's like me reporting to myself how my performance is, right? It's a sort of reflection method that helped me out a lot. And then after a while of writing, I can look back to what kind of method that I've used, how much time I've used back then, and then I will just slowly nudge myself. Like let's say that I have like at the end of a 3 to 4 months period, like I have like 5 hours sleep, which is not good. And then like I'll tell myself like, hey, 5 hours not good.
Yeah.
Let's push it up
We
to
got a 3. We gotta do 3.
yeah.
Yeah. We should work more, motherfucker.
And yeah, like I just nudge myself up to like, okay, maybe 6.5 hours. Let's just try that. And then after a period of time, okay, 7 and then 8, and then it will get back into the zone.
Yeah.
And then after a while, there will be a deviation point in which everything just gets fucked up
Yeah.
somehow. And so I just get
I see.
back to that period. Yeah, so I'll get back to that
There's
evaluation.
kind of undulations to it. Yeah.
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 Like let's say at this point in time, right? Like I'm actually very disorganized in a couple of manners, such as my sleep, especially with the initiation of the community. I decided like, okay, I'm gonna take a bit less sleep. I'm gonna put my workout routine back a bit more. To focus on this, I need that state of mind. So I basically what I did there was that I constructed a minimum like a mini flow state, right? Within this period of time, you get to flow, and after that, you have to cut yourself off and get back on track, right? So other than just waiting for the flow state to come, whatever, and then you sleep however you want, eat however you want, right? Like you have to give yourself like a deadline on that. Like you can flow, sure, let's flow, but flow to this point in time, and then keep yourself back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend journals really often too. She keeps telling me to just do it, but I'm afraid I'm gonna see demons when I journal. Yeah, no, I think I should do it. But I think what I find working now is that you know, for me to have like a really big goal, right? Not necessarily smaller points, but for example, like I think before AI was even a thing, I already felt like this industry is kind of volatile. You know what I mean? Like even when it's stable, it's unstable, and projects get canceled every time. You know this, right? And people get laid off every time of the year. And I feel like, okay, if this is like this, then I cannot just here sitting ducks. I gotta start something. So that's why the Patreon
Right.
is starting. That's why I got more active in social media. It's because I had back, I think 2-3 years ago, I had this goal of, okay, in 2-3 years I need to be able to have a side income that can supplement the main income, even though the main income is, even when the main income is not enough, this second income is gonna be enough. And I think I'm happy to say I achieved it. So I think having really big goals and just having it, just follow through is really works. And I gotta drill down
Yeah.
to that specifics now. Like, okay, what now, right? That's specific. So, yeah, that's why I'm fascinated to talk to you, because, yeah, you're a person who does things that I find difficult to do, especially on the kind of more planning analytical part. And yeah.
I think it will be easier to understand once you kind of know my background, right? Because this is something that I was very fortunate to have parents who are extremely supportive. But not only are they supportive, they also show me some of the ways that people should have known earlier
Nice.
in life.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things is actually time management.
Mm-hmm.
So the first time that I got engaged with time management, right, was actually not from my dad, but from school.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the timetable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, and you gotta do this, you gotta do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not, but you know, after the timetable, you were just a kid, like having fun. You do everything however you want, right?
Yeah.
But with my dad, like he told me, like, hey, you know, you can play more by doing this, right? And then he showed me this method. So
Mm-hmm.
he printed out a clock for me, and he said that, okay, so this amount of time is how much time you will be in school.
Mm-hmm.
This amount of time is how much time you are going to sleep. This amount of time in which you are free.
Mm-hmm.
So try to try to see what you can do within that period of time,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he kind of told me to track what I do, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to tell a kid to do that, but with me, like I find that fascinating. I did that for a year, I think,
Dude, that's
2 years.
great advice for every parent out there, I think. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
great
I know, right?
advice.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, and so with that mindset, right? Like I become very aware of time,
Mm-hmm.
and it keeps on going with me later down the line when I
Mm-hmm.
start getting in like going overseas for studies, and then getting into the workforce, and then start doing what I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like that carries on in many ways. And so yeah, like that's where part of the analytical and methodical side of me came along.
But you're also a
Uh,
really great
yeah,
artist. You're also really
I'm. Thank you.
because this here's the thing. Because people usually see that, okay, if this person's a really good artist, he's probably a fucking motherfucker in real life. Like he's probably really unorganized, and it's there's no kind of in people, in most people's mind at least, like there's no this image of an artist being a really savvy person with stuff like this,
Mm,
right?
right.
That's the what's the word, the stereotype that's going on. Well,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Like even with
yes,
the artist stereotype here in Vietnam, it's like, oh, you gotta got like weird hair, you gotta weird
yeah,
clothing, you gotta
yeah,
be a bit messy,
yeah,
you gotta be a weirdo, uh,
yeah,
in some respect, right?
yeah,
But for me, at least from what I get from people around me, is like you look like an accountant, or you
yeah,
look like some dude who works in finance and whatever.
mm-hmm,
And I realized that, like maybe you can steer yourself, find your ways through things,
yeah,
so long as you're willing to see it. Like even with me being a concept artist and designer,
mm-hmm,
like I love to flow through things too. Like
yeah,
it's a wave full of fun.
mm-hmm,
Of course, sometimes it's also a wave of negative thoughts and all these things that's going on. But
mm-hmm,
within me, right, like I will always question that. I'll be like, is this the best way to do it? Is this the right way for me? Like
mm-hmm,
like like what else is there to do with myself before I can face these things, right?
mm-hmm,
Sometimes people will blame other prospects in their lives, and they're like, because of these things I cannot do this. But for me, like I think I fortunately my parents don't build within me like this victim mentality.
mm-hmm,
So the idea is that, okay, something can be fixed within me. Let's
mm-hmm,
try that.
mm-hmm,
I'll try that with myself.
mm-hmm.
See what's going on. Then because like at least you can, the least thing you can do with that is to make yourself a better person.
Mm-hmm.
Make yourself like give yourself better habits and all that.
Yeah.
Um yeah. And so with art, I did go through that huge that great length of flow state in the beginning, in
Mm-hmm.
which I would learn everything, do everything, draw through the nights, and like
Mm-hmm.
like sleeping late and having bad eating habits.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all for the sake of art, and it's so fun, it's so cool. But I I I I slowly realized that, hey, this is not healthy. I'm not sure how far I can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
And with also back to what my parents taught
No
me.
one is safe.
Like
That is
they,
a dope.
my dad was a very active person.
Mm-hmm.
He still is, and he runs every day. He goes to the gym almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
He up to this point, and when you witness your parents being so earlier in life, like you realize that okay, so there are ways to sustain yourself.
Yeah.
His work, like he back back then he was like he was a banker, and and the kind of projects that he took on was insane. Like I saw him doing like stuff that I cannot imagine a human can do,
Mm-hmm.
really. He took a lot of up late nights and all that, but he keeps himself on track by being disciplined with his with his exercises,
Mm-hmm.
at least,
Yeah,
right?
like kind of ground itself. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of ground yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
with me, after the flow state, after the high of art, I realized that if you want to maintain some sort of level, if you want it to be sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can still be explosive while being sustainable,
Yeah,
right?
I think a quote by Christopher Hitchens, like the or was it someone else? I kind of forgot, but the candle that burns twice as bright also, you know,
Mm.
wastes kind of like twice as fast. Like if you
Yeah,
burn,
yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah. So you don't want to
Yeah.
be like that. And there's also this tutorial by Brad Rigney that he released a couple years ago, I think. And something he said in it kind of I think it really changed the way how I think about this. Is basically he said like, and he's talking about art, but I think this is any profession, career based profession. Like it's and he said art is like a black hole, right? It'll you can give it everything, but it'll still ask more if you give it. So you gotta have a
Mm.
kind of point where you say like, okay, this is where it stops, and this is where my life
Yeah.
begins. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Or it's
Uh,
gonna consume your whole thing, and you'll end up like not knowing anything but art. And I don't think that's a sustainable way to live because you gotta know how to make money, folks. Yeah.
yeah. And
I don't
I
know.
I I so there's this thing that I tell people when they join the local community
Mm-hmm.
that I created with my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like there were people who asked these questions, such as like how do you feel someone's art?
Mm-hmm.
How does an artist feel these things to get to where they are,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I would just tell people like, okay, so with artists, they tend to tap into like lots of chaotic flow of informations
Mm-hmm.
and of experiences, and they have the ability to dial it down
Mm-hmm.
and push it into some sort of visual representation
Mm-hmm.
so that you can feel it halfway there.
Yeah.
You don't have to experience, you don't have to go through what he went through
Mm-hmm.
to know what it feels like, but he will
Yeah.
open a gate for you to see it
Mm-hmm.
somewhat. So you can still be protected while experiencing these things,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
will
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
right? So if you treat your mentality the right way, then you you can balance that quite nicely.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone has a sort of balance point,
Mm-hmm.
right? Even if people will be like, no, but artist has to be flowing and has to be all this and that.
Yeah. To a certain point, yeah, but
Wow.
not all the way.
Yes, yeah,
Not
but
all the way. Not all the way.
yeah, like you still have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
you still have to to check out to check your parents how they
Yeah.
do, right?
Yeah.
And you just have to be nice to people around
You're
you.
not a child of a monarch, right? You still have responsibilities. Yeah.
Yes, yes. So yeah, like I think there's always a
Yeah.
way to distill that down, so long that you are willing to find it. If
Mm-hmm.
you aren't willing to find it, then it's gonna be a bit tough on you. Maybe you'll learn it the hard way,
Yeah.
or a much harder way.
I certainly did. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Even for me, like I did went to like certain point in which is like, what the hell am I doing with my life? What the hell am I doing with myself? This is not the way to do it. There has to be something else.
Mm-hmm.
And that questioning process, that self-questioning process is what pushed me towards who I am today.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only hope that people get to go through that self-questioning phase.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think I there's a lot of things that happens in the world that is I firmly believe the cause is because most people doesn't have that, or they have that but they ignore it. and
Mm,
and I'm not saying that you should pursue all your dreams, ignoring all the kind of situations that you're in or whatever, but I think being aware of that is going to make you, I think, a better person. I believe that, like, being aware of yourself. And
yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm not a big fan of kind of escapism that takes a lot away from you, like especially like kind of those predatory kind of games with a lot of microtransactions. I won't name names, but I'm not a big fan of that, because that's a sign that
Uh-huh.
we are, we I don't know, like I think that's a bad sign for societies, that we prefer to escape to that more often than not, than just build
Mm,
stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
mm,
I you you you
yeah.
you can you can play that for fun for sure, but many people just do that. Like, I bet you know
Mm,
many people who's like, all they do is just toil at work, and they came back from work and just play
mm.
games until morning, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
I think that
That
I think
yeah,
I
there
think
there are
I think
definitely
that came
cases.
that came from the lack of that realization. I firmly
Yeah.
believe that. Yeah.
I think we can segue just a bit into more into the work-life balance aspect, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So some people would be like, my work is my work and my personal life is my personal life.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you spend one third of your life working for some company.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? It's part of your life. It's one third of your lifespan. You better think about it constructively.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
at least for me, right? Like
That's
I
that's a really
I'm a,
good way of putting it.
I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a I was a kid who drew all the time in
Mm-hmm.
school.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm drawing, right? Some people will think that, oh, if you get to pursue your passion to work with, then you don't have to work any other day in life. That's full of shit. I still
Wow.
have to work.
Yeah, it still
I still
works.
have to work,
It still
right?
works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still works.
But the 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 thing is that, like trying to the way to do it is to try to strike the balance between those two,
Mm-hmm.
right? For me, there are works done for myself.
Mm-hmm.
What I do for myself is not just personal life, whatever. It's work,
Yeah.
right? I treat it as work.
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to treat myself seriously so that I can do better in life
Mm-hmm.
in general. And so with work for clients, like it's like, okay, it's a bit more serious to some degree. You may feel that way, and
Yeah.
you get money from it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, but at least try to find some sort of joy in it.
Yeah.
Try, like at least try,
Mm-hmm.
right? You like maybe from the get go you'll be like, oh, this is full of shit. Like this,
Yeah.
I just want the money, not the work. Like no one wants like that's just dumb to think so in many ways. It's best to just find something that you can enjoy,
Yeah.
right? So for me, like there were definitely projects that I didn't wholeheartedly enjoy it,
Mm-hmm.
but I would try to figure I'll try to find things that fascinates me. Like let's say that they have like they tell me to design this drain pipe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like and it has to go up it has to go up from the ground, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be like, okay, I can do that in like what, like 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
maybe less.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just like kit bash it and whatever. But I will not do that all the way. What I will do is that I will ask myself, why would people want a drain pipe to go up to the ground? What's
Yeah.
the purpose of that? And
Uh-huh.
so I'll just go Google that. And then I'll just go YouTube that. I just go find all this information about these
Mm-hmm.
things. Because like I have like this I have this curiosity and inclination to discover a lot of things. So I
Mm-hmm.
would just research these things.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fascinating to see how people out there do things that
Yeah.
I'm not doing.
Yeah.
And so I'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the design is out there,
Mm-hmm.
whether the art director or the creative director or the director or the producer see it or not,
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that when they ask certain things, I have things to back what I do up.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and like this process of discovering and experiencing new things. It's like it helps you realize that like I can find value at work for sure, right? But you can be more enthusiastic about it, so that you have that spirit of
Mm-hmm.
wanting to do the work.
Yeah,
Some
you make it fun for yourself.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like I have met people who after 10 years in the industry, they'll be like, I'm not enjoying it. It's not passion.
Mm-hmm.
It's just work. It's just money. I just earn a lot from it and I can do it.
Yeah.
And now these days, if I want to express myself, I'll do photography or I'll do other things. I have some other hobbies, and that's sad, right? Like for me, of course, like I'm not that for I'm not that 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 I haven't been in the industry as long as they do,
Mm-hmm.
but I know that I don't want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so better figure out a way now than be like, oh, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not an artist anymore. Go away. And then once you get there to what they do, and they'll be like, oh, they are right. So
Mm-hmm.
don't don't let yourself into that path, right? Try to think it through a bit.
Dude,
It's worth it.
for me, what really affects me the most on that topic is the first semester of art school. I think one of the teachers
Mm,
told everybody, like, it's literally the first day of our school, like first semester.
mm,
He told us, right, okay, so you guys are in school right now, and to be quite honest with you, none of you guys do good work. All of your work is shit, but this school has to run, so we got to select some people to kind of accept. And
oh no.
let me give you some advice. And he told us to, like, I know that you're new at school and you're students, you're young, and you have all that fire in you, and you wanna be kind of, what's the word for it? You wanna do things with I don't know what's the word in English. You wanna do things with passion, right? And that's cool, but let me tell you something. Passion doesn't last. It's a fire, right? You gotta keep it burning, and when that passion goes away, all you have is yourself. And this is the one advice that he gave us: is just follow through. Like, passion is good, but it can be tiring, but following through will get you out a lot of stuff. Just follow through. And by follow through, he means, like, not half-ass it, like, do really good work, but follow through. And he told us to treat it like a plumber. Like, if you're an artist, you should treat it like a plumber. Like
Mm,
a plumber. And you're there, you do the job, but you make sure the job is not done in a half-assed way, right? You still think yourself as a professional. And I think that's also a way to do it, because I think if you're
mm,
resigned, if you're totally resigned, that's not good either, because that's going to reflect in your work. And
mm,
I think a part of that is also doing your research, what you're doing, like doing all the things, like 0 to 100. The difference is now the passion is no longer burning hot, and all you have is your professionalism, which is, I think, kind of an admirable quality if you have that, because even when you don't want to do it, you do it.
mm.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, like I totally agree with that,
Mm-hmm.
and I always tell people who ask me for work advice that
Mm-hmm.
you know if there are days when you don't have the mood to do it,
Mm-hmm.
then be methodical about it.
Yeah,
Have a formula,
yeah.
right?
Or
Okay,
at least
so
for
it's
me,
also
realize that if I don't do this, I don't eat. So yeah,
yes,
what are you
yeah,
gonna do?
right. Yeah,
What are you gonna do?
survival, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, like but like the point remains like if you don't feel it,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
have a formula for it, have a
Exactly.
mindset
Like what you
for it.
did, right? You make it fun.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And for me, like to get back to what your teacher just said about passion, right? It's like
Mm-hmm.
fire; it
Mm-hmm.
will get snuffed out one day.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, right? It's like okay, sure, I have a fire,
Mm-hmm.
but how can I construct a fucking nuclear fuel like nuclear fusion factory out of it.
like a big silo.
Yes,
Yeah.
like how can I like how can I make it to become
Yeah.
a nuclear reactor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you construct so many things around it to support it, to make sure that it's strong,
Mm-hmm.
it can expand,
Mm-hmm.
right? You don't want your passion to remain what it is
Mm-hmm.
like years back. You don't want, honestly, I don't want people to have that. I want them to feel their passion growing.
Mm-hmm.
People keep on talking about passion as something finite, right?
Yeah.
How about not? How about think about it as something that you can grow, right? It's like a
Mm-hmm.
tree, right? Like fill it with the water every day, bring it out to the sun,
Mm-hmm.
do the work, right?
Mm-hmm.
It will grow. I know for a fact that the more I learn, the more I realize that, oh, like there's so much to do, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all about whether you want to do it or not.
Yeah.
One of the things, like one of the thing along that line is that, like further down that I work in the industry, right? Not only do I go into it, I will go it like it's there's width, so so a lot of stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
there's depth,
Oh, like a
right?
T.
So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. So there was a bunch of article stuff that I did a long while back, and back then when I looked into like these article patterns of like, okay, so they are all like geometric like this, they have these curves, they follow this kind of rule, so you can follow that
Mm-hmm.
and construct something. But later down the line, right, like when I went into the Atlas bar in Singapore,
Mm-hmm.
in which like they constructed this beautiful article style bar,
Yeah.
and
I've
when I
never
look into
been.
the yeah, and when I look into the pattern, right, those patterns aren't random. They are patterns of crops.
Mm-hmm.
They are patterns of cityscapes. They are patterns of all these subject matters that back then I don't have the depth of understanding to
Holy
see
shit!
through it.
That's a beautiful place, dude. I'm googling it now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
If you have time to go to Singapore, check it out.
Mm-hmm.
You can go in there and take pictures, references.
Dude, fucking
It's
Star
good fun.
Wars set over here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in any way, it's about the
Continue.
depth of
Mm-hmm.
understanding, right? Like you get to see more of this, and if you can get enthusiastic about it,
Mm-hmm.
everything has so much depth to it. It's whether you can tap into it or not.
Yeah.
So, with your passion, grow it, allow it to
Yeah.
see more,
Yeah.
feel more,
Mm-hmm.
experience more things, be curious.
Yeah.
Like all the niche, like all these like cliche stuff that people talk to you, but it's true in many respects. Like be observant about
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
things, be curious
See
about it, learn
patterns.
more
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, artists are weird. Like because when we were in UK, because normal people when they're in UK they probably just take random pictures, but with with your artist friends you'll notice that, oh shit, that's a beautiful shadow over there. I'm gonna take that picture. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's
Right?
fascinating how that shadow just falls like that. Like it's unlike what I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, like,
it's
for
weird.
me, I'd be like, oh, this is an interesting concrete. Like, what kind of plastic is this? This is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never tried that.
Yeah.
I've never tried touching that before.
Yeah.
So, like you just get curious about all these things, and then like later down the line, like
It's
you
so
have you
insane.
get to learn more, you get to do more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Even
as
if,
well, like I would love to visit the UK one day with the Cassette 101, like
oh,
that.
it's a beautiful
Like,
place. It's all a bit expensive though, I gotta say, but beautiful place. Yeah.
yeah, I guess Singapore kind of prepped me for that.
Oh yeah, you of
Uh,
course you've been to Singapore. Yeah, of course.
yeah, like I I stayed there for 8 years doing
Yeah.
overseas studies
Yeah.
and then work, so I can feel the
Yeah.
pressure.
I was asking
Yeah.
Marius because he's in Italy right now, and dude, how is
Mhm.
Italy? Is it cheap? Like I want to go. I want to visit someday. Like he was like, dude, you visited UK. Every Europe is cheap now. God damn it.
Yeah. Like you got to imagine, and then you can feel the heat,
Yeah.
and then you can do more,
Yeah.
right?
Damn, dude.
uh, yeah. Would love to go to all these events though. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been able to afford the time to do all these, let alone the visa. right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're similar the way we do here in Vietnam, then you
Mm-hmm.
have to prepare it like half a year
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I
beforehand.
prepared it half a year. Yeah,
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 yeah, that was that is something to really look into.
yeah.
Uh,
Dude,
yeah, but
I paid an agent to take care of it.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
the way to do it.
yeah, yeah.
Just get someone to
I
take care for
can't do
you.
it myself. Like my brain would just explode. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're at 1 hour now. So I gotta ask, what's next for you?
Oh gosh. Okay,
Yeah.
so I can see 5 year down the line.
Mm-hmm.
The reason is because I have I have planned
Yeah.
that out.
What's next in the James cinematic universe? Yeah. What's phase
so
fucking 6? Yeah.
so within the next few years, it's about reinforcing what I've been establishing.
Mm-hmm.
So with the studio, with the community,
Mm-hmm.
try to give it a self-funding, self-sustainable infrastructure. Make sure that like it has a pipeline to it.
Mm-hmm.
There are people cater to many aspects that I don't have to cater to anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, other than that, I have plenty of other plans that I've been thinking about for a long time. But it's all about trying to connect to connect with more people and try to get more into those things. So one of the things that I really want to do, which is opening an art fund.
What is that?
So an art fund is in which you get sponsors
Mm-hmm.
from various corporations and organizations to help artists who don't have enough financial resource
Mm-hmm.
to push forth with their vision.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The idea is that uh, I can uh, I can create like this council of people who will go through those documents that these artists prepare for themselves to see through their vision, try to fund it, and bring such artworks and shows around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is a very far-fetched thing, but I can see somewhat of a way to go through it. I think I'm like 40% through with the theoretical stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
In
love,
terms of how to get it
uh,
and how to get it running.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I will start off with Southeast Asia first.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Um,
Go Jungle
yeah,
Asians. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I really want to push forth.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing is to build a family. I want to have I want to have a
Nice.
family
You
of
wanna
my
have
own.
little James, little Jameses?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Like,
Yeah.
why not, right?
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is to keep on going with the IP that I've been starting since the beginning of the year, which
Mm-hmm.
is A Fearless World,
Oh yeah, I've seen that
right?
one, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
um. So yeah, like the Fearless World was supposed to be this short film project that I I was supposed to finish by the end of this year,
Mm-hmm.
but a lot of things went along.
Yeah.
I must, as much as I can plan it out, there are other things that I think more worthy of pursuit. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the things is the Artefact Community, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to push forth with that first, and once it's more self-funded, it's more ready. There are people cater to it.
You go back to it.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'll go back to it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll work on it for a bit more, and then move on with other subject matters.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that the way that I do these personal projects is that I'll spend a lot of time researching every single aspect about certain culture, or certain ideas, certain storylines, certain narratives,
Mm-hmm.
certain philosophy, and break it down into things that I can bring towards visually,
Dude,
right?
in that regard, we're the same. I'm a fucking Wikipedia nut. Yeah.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice, yeah, yeah, man. Like that's. I think that's just that's just stem from, again, the curiosity, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, for me, with the fearless world, the prime example of that is brutalism and eco brutalism, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I have to find out what those are, what those things means, why people use, why people do brutalism, why the Soviet Union are into brutalism,
Mm-hmm.
what's going on there, what
Yeah.
happened historically.
Yeah.
So once you break that down, you can see through it. You can understand, like, these narratives
Mm-hmm.
behind all these things,
Yeah.
from the inception to the destruction of it all.
Mm.
And for me, it's so interesting. It's so fascinating,
By
and
the
you can
way,
apply that with
people
every
can
single
see
subject
it on
matter
your
out
art
there.
station, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
some of
So
those pieces, some of those designs. You gotta check it out. It's awesome, guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, like it started off small and somewhat immature in terms of mindset. Like, at first, I was thinking that, okay, everything brutalism is cool, so
Mm-hmm.
let's put a city full of brutalist stuff
Mm-hmm.
and see what's going on. And I realized that brutalism is, one of the design philosophy about brutalism is is constructing monolithics, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want everything to be brutalist. They
Mm-hmm.
want something to symbolize something, and that one thing has to be extremely brutalist, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if you're in a small, simple neighborhood, and then there's a freaking huge brutalist structure out there,
Yeah.
it's like the center of everything.
It's
So
imposing.
I
Yeah.
learned, yeah, exactly, and so I like, throughout the process, I learned to, to hold certain thing down a bit,
Mm-hmm.
try to learn how to release certain aspects and source and visual story ideas,
Mm-hmm.
and make it more mature in terms of thought process, and make sure that the visuals are to my taste.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I intend to do more of that,
Yeah.
but then, but like with other prospects too, like learning about, like going even more in depth in the Eastern cultures, right? Like, going to certain tribes,
Mm-hmm.
or try to learn about all these, like, archaeological artifacts, and try to figure out what's going on with them. So these are all these projects I've been doing is just a funnel for me to push forth with my curiosity
Mm-hmm.
and transform it into visuals,
Mm-hmm.
alongside with the assistance of my creativity,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Dude,
Yeah,
that's nice. You find a way to channel that energy into a lot of things.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think everyone fundamentally has something within them that is extremely powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's about how to harness it, right?
Yeah.
Um, I think one thing that can help people out, with that, right? Because, like, I know that there are people who question me, like, but why do you have to do this? This is so excessive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like who will look into it? Well, I don't need to brag, but I got jobs out of those things. So
It's not excessive. It's the thing that you should do.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But some people, because, like, if you look into the trends of the industry, it's like, it's like, speed painting
Mm-hmm.
and speed this and then dailies and all that, right? Like it's like it's it's so much about the
Yeah.
quantity that you
Dude,
forgot that you
I
are
have
an
a
artist.
beef with dailies. I have a long running beef with dailies. Like, why just do take your time, man. Make
Yeah,
it awesome. Why?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like don't just chase the social media and all these trends. Like, just slow down, try to see it through. Like let's say, if you can see through the point the
Mm-hmm.
way Beeple does, right? So
Mm-hmm.
with Beeple's works, right, he does that for 12 years straight.
Yeah, it's every day, yeah, but it's that.
Yeah, but like he has an epiphany for it. Like, he
Mm.
he he has a mindset to go towards, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He will be like, okay, like if you look into his work, lots of kit bashing,
Mm-hmm.
lots of visuals that are preset, pre-built, but it conveys a certain message that he wants to
Yeah.
convey
Yeah. It's saying
on that day,
something.
right? Yeah, it really tries to say something, and that's why his NFT exploded,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
There's it's not a random phenomenon. Like there's a root cause to it. There's a reason for it to happen. So at least with us, right, with ourselves, with our potential, we can try to figure that out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I so this is an interesting point is that I have tried to figure out for myself, and it worked out, which is that uh everyone can try to go to ArtStation and try to spot what people barely do there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Like go because like if at this point in time the whole industry is saturated with The Last of Us fan art. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's no surprise, it's
Yeah.
no surprise anymore, right?
Yeah.
But
You gotta have
let's say
some.
that
You gotta have some grass overgrowth and some abandoned temples there.
yeah, but and then people start being lazy about it. They will just
Mm.
grab assets from everywhere, like especially with like preset models, and just put things in and some grass on it and be like, that's of us,
Mm-hmm.
here you go,
Yeah.
right? But for me, I would try to find the core values, the fundamental values that the concept artist Adoidog went through to
Mm-hmm.
get to that point, right? So they'll look into, okay, so this location is in the US, so what kind of grass there are in the US, what kind of fern there are in the US, what kind of concrete do they use, what kind
Mm-hmm.
of metal do they use for all the artworks around here, right? Like if the concrete decay, what kind of decay it will look like,
Mm-hmm.
how it differs from all these things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So be extremely constructive with every tiny little thing, and try to channel that into your work, and
Mm-hmm.
people will notice. Because like with the latest client that I've been having right now, he saw what I was trying to do. Because with a fearless world, right? Like I was trying to have this narrative, to have all these storytelling, all this research done. I did it right, I did it properly. I want to make sure that it tells these stories through these figures,
Mm-hmm.
these kind of shapes, these kind of lighting. And the first meeting that I got onto with this client, he recited exactly what I was telling you.
Okay.
He just told me, like, okay, I see this, I see this, I see this. So I know for a fact that what I was trying to go through is proven. People can see it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so if you try to be constructive to that extent with your work, people will see it. People will appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
Even when
and
even when they don't see it, they'll feel it.
yeah,
I think. Yeah.
exactly. And with dailies, with speed painting, you hinders that so much.
Yeah.
Because like let's say that you have 3 months to do a project, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course this is personal project, but rather than do like every day, like a painting every day throughout that process, right? Unless your goal is to do that, then try to spend like 2 weeks just researching, 3 weeks even,
Mm-hmm.
and then spend the rest of the day just constructing a few pieces, but they are greatly constructed, they are greatly painted,
Mm-hmm.
they're greatly designed, thought well thought out,
Yeah.
you know,
I
making
think
sure that is solid.
I think most people do every days also to learn, and I think
Mm,
that's one way to learn. But why I have a beef with daily as a way of learning is because that you're trying to practice a certain technique, right? And sure,
mm,
you think that repetition what makes it perfect, but I think when you do dailies because of how the nature of concept art is, you do it so fast you won't get the nuances of what you're doing wrong, right?
yeah,
You don't
exactly.
you don't get to trace the steps, you don't get to look at it again, and you just do it, fucking done, post it, and you just do that again tomorrow and you learn nothing.
Mm.
Yeah, that's I think
Well,
that's
not mention
counterproductive. Yeah.
yeah, not to mention the dopamine hit that comes along with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
like if you post it online, you see there's some likes, you feel good.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
let's say, yeah, if you finish it, sometimes you just finish the dailies and then you feel
Yeah,
good, right?
yeah.
But that good feeling is so short-lived, because at some point in time you will give in, especially when you don't have a reason for what you do.
Hmm.
So better have some reason
It's like an
behind it.
addiction. Like the second hit always is weaker than the first one.
Mm,
Yeah, and then again and
exactly.
again and again. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So hopefully I can only hope that people will see through it.
Mm.
It's similar with kit bashing as well. Like people just buy all these kit bashes and put it together,
Mm.
though just the way they are, right?
Yeah.
Like you can use kit bash and then you can deconstruct them to just pick certain pieces out
Mm-hmm.
and mold them into what you want, and
Mm-hmm.
that's all well and good. But
Yeah.
let's say that you just carry like just a building from kit bash 3D or big medium small and just put it there. It's like concept art.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work,
And
dude.
it's fun, and
Right?
no shade to them. They're doing great
Yeah,
work.
it's
Yeah, they're
fun.
they're doing really helpful work. But I think sometimes people just kind of do that, and it's fun, and they do it every day. I think that's a trap too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there is a reason for all this to do, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, but for concept artists and designers, we are trying to bring in originality in many respects. Of
Mm.
course, we have certain bases, like cultural bases. We have visual references,
Mm-hmm.
history, and all that to cover with Bash, but you still have to design.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to think through it.
Mm-hmm.
Some people who, especially those who aren't familiar with what we do, like they would be like, "That's overthinking. Don't do it." Well,
Yeah.
not really. Sometimes it's not overthinking. It's just thinking. It's just critical
Mm-hmm.
thinking,
Mm-hmm.
constructive thinking, right? And that's worthy of praise.
Yeah. I think it's overthinking in the beginning phases. When once that seeps into your
Mm,
brain and becomes instinct, it looks like it's not overthinking. You
mm,
know what I mean?
right. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Like if I explain myself out to my girlfriend or to my mom to my mom, the boss will be like, simplify it down. What are you doing? And to some degree, at a certain point, it's true. There are certain things that you should dial down,
Yeah.
but there's so many other things out there that require this level of critical thinking. And
Mm-hmm.
so one of the mission that I have to take on for myself is to figure out what needs more thinking than others.
Yeah.
What needs more critical thinking than others?
Like
What can be
choosing your
let
battles.
go a bit? Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
that's weird because I had the same problem, and I think I remember one time Shadi sent me a voice note on WhatsApp. He's like, "Dude, you're like awesome, but you're like Cyclops without the glasses. Like you just fucking everywhere. You gotta focus that energy." Okay, okay. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's great advice." Yeah,
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 yeah, that's a huge that's a
dude.
great piece of advice.
Yeah,
Like try to funnel it.
yeah.
Like with passion, with career, with anything that you have in your life, I think there are ways to funnel it. It's like if you want to shoot a rocket like straight up to the sky,
Mhm,
you better build a good base for it,
mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You don't just you don't just let it like in the middle of a field and expect it to just go up. It
Mhm.
won't.
Yeah.
Um, so for us, it's the same thing. It's about trying to harness all these things. It's trying to hone in, trying to solidify it, try to make sure that you know what you're doing. Be constructive about it, and I think great things will come out of it.
Mhm.
Of course, if these advice are given to beginners, they will tend to go a bit over. They will overreact with it a bit
Mhm.
in the sense that they will strictly go with that. You,
Mhm.
you know that feeling like let's say if you're a beginner, right, and you see a tutorial, you'd be like, I'm just go step by step through all of this
No.
exactly
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
the best I can,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And 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 that will lead to overreacting, that will lead to overthinking,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
It takes time, and it's good for people to go through that period of time. It's and then they realize that, okay, this is counterintuitive. Let's slow down.
Mhm.
Let's see through it. Yeah, and that's where and that's what I mentioned it earlier, right? Like you have the width, and then you have the depth,
Mhm.
right? You go through a lot of width, and then later down the line you see the depth, and then you slowly get into it.
Okay. Yeah. All right, dude. I think we're gonna wrap it up soon because I gotta let the construction workers work again. Yeah. By
Alrighty.
the way, for listeners, like I have a construction next door, like literally next room, and that I have to stop to record this podcast because it's too noisy. But yeah, so I'm gonna give you. Do you have any closing remarks, stuff you want to plug, anything? Just go out. Yeah.
Sure.
What do you want to say?
Um,
Yeah.
Well, you can yes, and go to the Artifact community and apply
Mhm.
to it.
Mhm.
It's good fun. You'll meet like
Hell
the best of the
yeah.
industry
I'm
over there.
I'm gonna put in the
And
description.
awesome, awesome. And you guys can apply into my studio. We
Mhm.
are an ever-growing team of artists and designers over
What's the
here.
name?
Beyond Us Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the website is beyondus.xyz.
Nice. All right, folks.
Yeah.
So that's it. Dude, we should do another round. This is not enough.
Yeah,
this is
I
this
know,
is
dude. Like
this is not enough.
I was honestly like for get go, I was prepared to go with you for like 3 hours or something. But
Yeah.
you know, we can totally come back sometime soon.
Mhm.
And I really appreciate for the opportunity, man.
Yeah, me too. I
It's
really
it's
appreciate your time. I know you're busy. You're doing you have a
yeah.
thousand spinning plates in your hands. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's great talking to you, and you know, hopefully we can do this sometime soon in the future.
For sure, dude.
Oh, by the way,
Maybe even a portfolio if you're up for it.
oh yeah, that
Yeah.
would be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, okay. By the way, one thing that I like to tell to people who are your audience, right?
Mhm.
They should know that you are extremely supportive. Like you got to you like you are on a person who got to see me going from the beginning of my career
Mhm.
up to this point. Like you have to see how I slowly
Oh
grow
yeah, yeah.
into
It's
who I am
fascinating.
as an artist
Fascinating.
and
Yeah.
designer.
It's really cool
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for being an awesome individual, and hopefully
Dude, you
we'll
too.
get to chat soon.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah. Go Jungle Asians.
thank you.
Yeah. Bye bye, guys. So see you guys next
Yeah.
time.